Hello everyone. Today I was able to buy some silver. This is what was in that bag. But this stuff ain't what I bought today. It's just some random stuff I've gotten recently. Now, price of silver going up so much Thursday and Friday, I'm expecting the price of buying silver at my local coin shop is going to go up quite a bit. Because you can't keep pricing it cheaper if the price is higher. Anyway, this is a preview type video of some stuff I just got and some recordings I made. One of the things is we want to get Raven Ivy some new subscribers, so I made a video for that. I'll make that go live probably tomorrow. But the things I got today, talk about this real quick. 1917 D, and there's the D mint mark. They didn't make a whole lot of these. This one's just about gone, hence the $12 price. If it had a better rim and more details, this might be a $40 coin or higher. This one's pretty well worn almost to nothing, so you can still tell the mint marks over there, because usually the mint marks on walkers are right back here. Alright, but that's that. Now, I kind of like this particular Standing Liberty quarter. Pretty solid date, a nice look to it. It's a bit worn, but it's not as worn as a lot of them are. Again, these staples. There's only two staples on this one, which, where they placed them close to the coin like this, is enough to keep the quarter from coming out. But, here lately these have been about $6. It's a bit over melt. This one's a little bit better, so it's a little higher price. I don't know. I think someone else had it. They bought it for $7 a while back and probably sold it for a little bit less than $7 just because they had to clear out stuff. Because I don't think my coin dealer would have paid them $7 and then turn around and sold it for $7, because you won't make no money that way. So that's kind of nice. Now, this Disabled Vets 2010 West Point Modern Commemorative Dollar. Same size as a Morgan or Peace Dollar. Same 90% silver content. Same dumb staples that need flattened. I could literally spend hours doing this to get all these flattened. So I'm going to probably just start flattening them as I buy them, because then I don't have to worry about it. These are kind of nice. They're not minted in huge numbers, but these commemoratives like this, when they're loose, they just generally sell them at pretty low markups. You would have paid more if you bought it originally from the mint. Now, a couple of these are down. I guess I didn't get around to flattening these, or there we go. Alright, next coin. Already flattened, smaller stapler too. 1910. Kind of a good solid rim on this. Because once these get a little bit worn, and you don't know, the Denver mint mark is there on these. Once these wear a little, these wings go into the rim, and then this flattens out a lot more, and then you start losing the rim on the front. So this is a little bit better one than you often see in terms of wear and tear. It's not a particularly rare year or nothing for these, so don't really pay a whole lot for them. unless they're a little bit better. Because usually these are $6 or $7 at my coin dealer lately. But again, with the price of silver going up, stuff like this is going to end up costing more. Now, what else do I really have out here to talk about? Oh yeah, in my comments, someone mentioned to show this. This is the Magician Stunt Coin, 1922, and I've had for a while with 2 heads. Looks like carving, but this one proves it's not carving. They're almost entirely the same thing. Very similar. Not quite the same, but close. This one might be a little bit less detailed, but it's the same kind of face, same overall design. This one, though, has the tail on it. The normal piece dollar tail, but this isn't a real. Just know that these aren't real. Neither one of them are real silver. This one weighs out at 25 grams, which I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it doesn't test 90% silver, so it's not a real one. This one's plated, probably brass or copper nickel. I'm not really sure what it is, but it is not a real piece dollar that someone carved this into. Which, if someone could do that by hand or whatever and carve all this into this, they'd have mad skills. But unfortunately, these are not real, so don't go out and pay a lot for them. All right. Now here's a modern nickel that has some weird damage on it. It's scraped there around the lettering, and there. The middle here on the Monticello does not look scraped. It looks a little bit scraped down here on America too. The front does not appear to have any scrapes on it. So how this got on the coin, it's anybody's guess. Mess ups. This isn't really an error coin, but these kind of little scratches and little ring marks almost. Sometimes it's, especially when it's only on one side of the coin, it's kind of hard to figure out how that happened. I'm only assuming it got caught in the vending machine somehow, and maybe 2 coins got together. I couldn't tell you how that got scraped like that. But with silver going up, getting cheap silver like these worn Standing Liberties will cost more soon. Maybe next time I'm ever offered these, instead of being about $5, they'll probably be $5.50 or something. And if silver goes up much more, they might start asking $6 or $7. I don't think I want to buy that kind of coin for $6 or $7. Now, in this bag, if I can get it open. Well, it's fighting me. Hold on a second. We will get it open. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Sometimes these little Ziploc bags are hard to get a hold of. All right. This says 60D quarter, $6, which is this one. That's about as high as I want to go on one of these, by the way. Unless it's like mint state one, then I might be tempted to pay more, but this is a very common date. Not really recommended to pay that much. Now, I also got this 64 Kennedy recently, which is a Denver mint one. It's right there. Scraped slightly, but not worn much, which these don't generally circulate too much. When's the last time someone gave you a $50 and change? And these 64 ones, since they're 90% silver, they went out of circulation pretty quick. If you ever find one in your change, keep it. It's worth, at today's prices, melt only, about $8, almost $9. Well, since silver went up a little bit, it might be over $9 now. But yeah, if I went to a coin shop today, they didn't have any 64s Kennedys, but I did see a couple half-dollar ones like Benjamin Franklin's for about $11. Now the rest of this stuff was just several. Where's that other one? Oh, I know what happened. There's a couple of these standing liberties with this when I bought it, so I got two half-dollars, pretty well worn. Now this is what I mean when I talk about barber half or quarters like this. This one got out of circulation pretty quick. This one though, this one's worn down to the point of being a chip, basically. If there was a mint mark on it, I don't think there was. It's pretty much worn off where the mint marks are, but I think you'd still see a hint of one on it. The date, I can't tell nothing. So that one's basically a chip, and at the price I paid for it, it's about $5. And these being worn out pretty bad. This Walker, no date. This though, the barber half, this is how most of these look when you see them. The rim is going away. The date's still here on this one. There is no mint mark and there's some scratches on it. But that's what they usually look like when they've been circulated a lot. Once they get to this point, you're talking about a coin that's basically worth melt. And to buy it from a dealer, you'll pay a bit of a premium, although it'll be very small compared to one that's better or a better date one. So these were not very much. It's $1.85 when I bought it because there is an 1892 penny. Hold on, they're not penny, dime. It went down here somewhere, I know. When they're slick, they're slippery. But this is an 1892, and you can see it's worn pretty bad. Probably stayed in circulation all through the 1920s and 30s into the 40s, maybe even longer. Workhouse coins that, an American, that just got circulated a lot because people didn't really like the design, so no one really saved very many of them. And some of these older coins, it's kind of hard to tell how many of them escape being melted. Once they get like this, though, a lot of people might be tempted to melt them if silver goes up a lot more. I don't care for that myself, so I won't be melting them. But if I ever sold them to somebody, some of the stuff like this would probably go to a smelter and get melted if silver's really high. And the legality of melting this stuff, I don't really know, but I know people did it. They did it in the 80s, around 1980 or so, when silver reached about $50 an ounce. They were going to melt a lot of this, but they got so backed up at the melters, from the story I hear, that the price dropped, and then people didn't want to melt them anymore so that a lot of them canceled the melt orders and got their coins back, or else we would have very little of this stuff anymore. And I want to thank Daniel from Coin Help You for that information, because he did a video about it. And I did not realize most of this stuff was destined to be melted in 1980, because I knew the price of silver went up a lot, but I didn't know that they'd sent lots of this stuff to be melted. It'd be pretty hard to have a coin collection or be hobby if all this stuff got melted, because you wouldn't be able to get this kind of coin very easy. So go check out Coin Help You, and it's a bigger channel. He doesn't really need my urging, but he is a wealth of information. Watched lots of his videos before I ever even started a channel, and I have ordered from him. In fact, that is where I got this particular loop, which has a 20.5mm lens, which is better than the 18 ones, because on certain coins, especially dimes, get it just right, you can have the entire coin inside of the lens. Now quarters are a little bit too big for that, but with this bigger lens, you can see more of the coin. And you can tell this one's really not worn a whole lot, but it is worn some. And that's how you can see the wear and tear on the 64 Kennedy. There's little scratches and stuff, but it's not really much circulation. Just enough to smooth off it a little bit. So this would probably be very fine type coin at best if it was graded, but these aren't worth grading because they're too common. Anyway, I think that's going to be my video for tonight. I showed the new stuff, and I was pretty happy to get this. There was a vendor event at the local metals mall. Now, it's not, when I see the closed caption, they always think I'm saying metals, but it's metals as in like a field is the name of the place. And there's a jeweler in there and coin dealer. He was working on pricing some coins, and he had a good size plastic box with a whole bunch of carded coins in it. And we were looking at him because he wasn't real busy. And this one I kind of settled on wanting to get, just because I didn't want to leave empty-handed. And he was in the process of pricing, so he gave me a price and I bought it. Just because I wanted to have this one, because it's a little bit better than they often are. These other coins, though, came from my normal coin dealer. I went there before, and this was probably my favorite of the three I did get, although I do like the disabled vets a lot too. This, it was just a little bit better, and of course then it had been so expensive I probably wouldn't have bought it, because these at good, they're supposed to run $40 or more. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good night. I'll put a link for Raven Ivy on this, and I have a short post that I'm going to post later and schedule. It's already uploaded, it's just waiting. Hope everyone has a good night. We'll see you next time.